Hello class, this week we're going to be doing some simple GIF animations, which should be a lot of fun. I've always enjoyed the fact that Adobe has GIF animation software. It used to actually be separate from Photoshop, but eventually they realized that they should just be one big thing and they put it together. Now, a quick aside, it is actually pronounced GIF, and this is actually important, otherwise I wouldn't care. So a lot of people know that one of the many creators of the GIF format, one of the leads, took the opportunity while he was accepting an award to say that it was pronounced JIF. And the reason for this is out of a team of something like 20 or 30 people, he and a handful of them liked a joke where it was pronounced like the peanut butter, so that they could say that moms who like GIF or something along those lines. However, it is actually the graphic interchange format. The guy just doesn't know that it's not the JAFX interface format. Now, I wouldn't care about it being mispronounced if it didn't lead to problems, but it does, because while there is a GIF format, there is literally a JIF format. And the JIF format, which is a JPEG interchange format, and it's used a lot in web graphics, specifically on the back end, can cause a lot of headaches for system administrators who are trying to work with artists and graphic artists who tell them that they're sending them a GIF or a GIF. They have to constantly ask them what they mean, when it should be as simple as GIF with a hard G because it is a graphics interchange format, and JIF with a J because it's a JPEG interchange format. So it does actually matter. This is a GIF. A GIF is an animation. This is a GIF. A GIF is just a specialized kind of JPEG that will show up on the back end of servers a lot. So if you get it right from the get-go and you don't get in arguments about how to pronounce it, and you just accept the fact that there is actually something already called a GIF, then you will make the lives of so many people so much easier. So don't fall for that one jerk who was like, hey, let's call it wrong. There's already something called a GIF. You can't steal that name just because you don't want to pronounce it GIF. So just a heads up. Please call it correctly. It is a GIF. Because there's already a GIF, we don't need more headaches. So I think all of you probably know what a GIF is, but just in case you don't, essentially it's just a series of frames stored and played back. It allows for an alpha transparency, and it tries to be lossless. It does have a lossy compression that doesn't work particularly well, but people will go ahead and use it a lot anyway, because you can make things pretty small and very useful for web animations. Photoshop actually allows you to design and use GIFs, and you can do hand-drawn stuff. I have this anthropomorphic lioness for a video game that a few people were working on a while ago. Here's her jump cycle. I have a standing cycle that went a little bit further. Here we go. These were actually designed in two different methods. In this method, it's just a hand-drawn method. In this method, we're using keyframes, and we'll get more into how that works and how to put all those together as we work through it. So without further ado, let's get into building some GIFs, and we'll start up with setting up your workspace, and then we will get into how to cut things up and kind of do a Terry Gilliam type animation. And let me bring up one of those in case you're not familiar with the great Terry Gilliam. Let me get these out of the way first. Sorry, just a moment. All right, let's bring up Terry Gilliam. Here we go. He worked with the rest of the Pythons on Monty Python. He did things like Monty Python and the Holy Grail movie, which is a must-watch for college students if you haven't seen it already. He essentially did cutout animations where he would cut things out and then move things around and animate them. And so you've most likely seen some of his strange works over the years. It in a lot of ways was like early Flash animations, but before that occurred. Photoshop can actually emulate this style very, very easily, so I think it's a lot of fun to do something along those lines. Now, that said, you don't have to try to reproduce his work, and in fact, you can do pretty much anything you want as long as you meet the minimum requirements for this assignment. I'll be absolutely thrilled to watch your little GIF run around. All right, without further ado, let's set up that workspace.